The Marcus Deegan Show. What's the story, guys? Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today is proudly brought to you by Tidal Sport Cryotherapy Spray. It's the game changer, the number one. If you haven't tried it, we're going to talk about that a little later on the show. We're also brought to you by Crypto Corns NFTs, exclusive Irish NFTs. Getting released in a couple of weeks. They're involved with me and my show. It's going to be kick-ass. Today we've got another Irish mixed martial artist on the show fighting out of the world-famous SPG Island. Now, I've had a lot of his teammates on the show, and I've been very, very excited to have this guy on because he likes to work hard. He does not give a fuck who it is, where it is, or when it is. He just wants to fight. Now, look. Don't let his good looks fool you. He will take your head off with a slashing elbow quicker than you can say, give us a bottle of proper 12. Ladies and gentlemen, he's fighting in the main event on July 2nd in Malta. What a fucking stud this guy is. Welcome to the Marcus Deegan Show. BDK, Kiefer Crosbie, what's the story, brother?
Well, that was from introduction, mate. What's up? Good man.
I only do the intros like that for the Irish fighters, mate, because they pump me up. Now listen, how's everything over there, all right?
Yeah, bro, everything's good. Everything's good. You know what? Today is the hottest day of the year. Funny enough, that's why I was out and about. So I was fucking floating down. It's like about, when I say the hottest day of the year, it's only about 20 degrees. But that's all for Ireland.
It looks like a nice day out there, mate. But if you want to feel that heat, you know, to get yourself here to Las Vegas, it is roasting at the moment. You've had a little bit of time off. How's the anticipation and the feeling? You're in fight week, you're about to go to the main event, and now I hear this place is in a big colosseum where people used to get killed. Is that true?
Yeah, you know what? I was only watching a little documentary last night on the spot. Yeah, so it basically is a colosseum. It's a war ground. So literally, the King of Malta was killed in this place. Yeah, so like it's there's a lot of history, and this is going back to the 1500s, like proper back in the day. Fucking like there's still like cannons in the spot that they used to like use to get rid of boats back in the day, and people were literally like killed, like thousands of people in this spot. You know what I mean? It looks like a little Colosseum type thing. It's actually a war museum now, funny enough, and I don't know how they're going to do it, to be honest. When I was looking at it, I was thinking, how are they going to put heads and feet into this spot? I'm just rolling with it, mate. Yeah, I was seeing the picture and I was like, sign me up. Do you know what I mean? I was saying, I was like,
is this just a one fight deal?
Yeah, one fight. That's what I've been looking for the past year, to be honest. I'm not signing them anyone. I'm just going to stay on the one fight deals and rack a few of them up, do you know what I mean? And get to the UFC. That's the goal, yeah.
Well, I mean, you've had a little bit of time off. Can you have a normal job when you're having that much time off, Kiefer? Or is fighting your main job? Because I know you got kids, I know you got a wife. What do you do when you have so much time off? Apart from honing your skills, obviously.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing, training, to be honest. You know what I mean? Obviously, I do a bit of teaching and martial arts as well. Not too much. Obviously, I like to focus on just purely training, especially when I have a fight close. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's been a frustrating year, to be honest. Obviously, with all the fucking pandemic shit, and it was hard to travel. It was fights, shows were falling apart, and you know, it was a hard year for everybody. The way I look at it is like fucking so many people lost their jobs. I felt like I kind of lost my job for a year as well. Do you know what I mean? It was hard. And I just had to just get up and stay focused on training and improving. But look, here we are now. I'm 12 days out from the next one, and I'm so happy to be back, and I'm full of just gratitude and energy to actually be back, like ready to fight. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to get back in there, man.
So do you believe ring rust can be a factor, or is that just shit like no sex before a fight? Is that just a myth? And if so, can you talk about that?
I think ring rust only really happens after you lose a fight, and then you start coming up with all the excuses. You know what I mean? Oh, I was rusty. You know, I don't believe in ring rust, really. I've seen people coming back off 5-year layoffs, and it's the best performance of their life. So if ring rust was a thing, then how come it's not across the board for everyone? Do you know what I mean? It's sometimes when you go in there and you had a bad night, you'll blame certain things. Like, oh, it was ring rust, or it was this, or it was that. To be completely honest, I will show up and perform to the best of my abilities, and if it's a shit performance, well, it means I'm a shit fighter. Do you know what I mean? It's not ring rust. It's my ability show, and I believe that I'm after improving in my skill set, and I'm after improving in my maturity as a fighter. So look, 12 days time, I'm gonna find out. But I don't believe going into this fight I'll have any ring rust. I've been fighting in the gym nearly every day, and I'm sharp as fuck. So we'll see what happens in a week. Yeah.
Now, with the excitement of not being in the octagon for a while, when you get in there and you're across from your opponent and you're looking at him, how do you maintain your composure? How do you just not like fucking fly out of there to get it done after not doing it? How do you like zen yourself in that point of time?
Experience, you know what I mean? It's like anything. You can't just learn that on day one. It's something that you learn on the go over years of fighting and competition, and you know what I mean. Even competition, like even going back to like even jiu-jitsu competitions. You know what I mean? If you're a white belt and you do your first ever grappling competition, you're going to be very, very nervous, and you're going to, go as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and then you're going to be tired in a minute. You do 100 jiu-jitsu tournaments, you're going to be okay in the 100th one. You know what I mean? Because the experience there, you embrace the nerves. You're going to feel like that. You take your time, etc., etc. I've had a lot of fights, and I've had a lot of competition, and I've had a lot of hard spars, and I've done this so much that it's just another fight at the end of the day. And I know I appear as a very aggressive fighter, which I am technically, but I'm actually very calm in the mind. Do you know what I mean? In terms of composing myself, you know what I mean? I don't actually get too emotional in these fights. What you see is kind of on the external, it's aggression, but in here it's calm. I'm calm as fuck, you know what I mean? And I can turn it on or turn it off and pull back the reins when I want to. I feel like I'm in control of myself. So, but it comes down to experience. Yeah, it comes down to just being comfortable in the environment of a fight, and that takes time to develop, you know what I mean? So
see, this is why I love talking to fighters specifically, because I just the mind fascinates me with what you guys do, and I'm intrigued by how you guys calm yourselves and change the way that you think. Like win or learn. Is loss important, Kiefer? Do you have to have loss in your career to learn and grow?
Definitely, yeah, 100%. At the start I was like, I did want to lose. No one wants to lose, you know what I mean? You never plan a loss. You never ever plan a loss, but at the same time, if it does happen, you have to learn from it. You know what I mean? And you have to look at the variables, and you have to look at the positives, and you have to take from it what you can. And you definitely learn more from losing than you do from winning. And again, it goes back to you don't want to lose. But if you look at it like a loss and you're going to hang them up and give up, well, then that's one way of looking at it. Or if you look at it and go, okay, what can I actually learn from this loss? Then what can I do to improve? And just be honest with yourself, because winning is the easiest thing you can do. Because when you win, it's easy. It's handy. You just go home, you're happy, you celebrate, you party. Everything feels great. Everyone's telling you you're great. Everyone's telling you you're the best. So you nearly forget to improve. You might sidestep the mistakes you made. You might overlook, I got hit with that, or I got this, you didn't get submitted. You won, so you may just coast onto the next fight, and then whatever. When you lose a fight and you're an experienced fighter like myself, you break it down. You say, right, where did I fuck up? How did I fuck up? What did I get caught with? Did I get tired in there? What was I thinking? What was I doing? You know what I mean? All these things. So if you really I write everything down after every fight, win or lose. And when you go back and compare your notes, you know what I mean? You can look into the things and just be honest with yourself. Look at it like a little diagram. Do you know what I mean? And go, right, what happened there? How did I get caught with that? How did he do that? What was I feeling in that moment or whatever? And just build on it and improve. And I believe if you stay the course and you keep going, and you keep showing up to the gym, you're only going to improve, win or lose. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. You're really, and that's across the board in every sport, not just fighting it. I'm talking about, like, there's a famous Kobe Bryant quote, I've missed 3,000 free throws. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, but the one on the night is the one that counts, because I've missed so many of them that I know it so well, that feeling of missing that. You know what I mean? I'll keep it going though, and eventually it'll click, and I got it now. You know what I mean? And same with fighting. You lose, you move on, you just fucking learn from it. You go again. You go back to the gym, you go again, and you just keep going, just keep showing up, and eventually you'll improve, and you'll get better. So that's what I believe, anyways. Yeah.
So what happens when it's like a doctor stoppage? Like I was watching that fight with you and Charlie O'Leary, and I was looking for the cut. I couldn't see it from the TV, but to me, it didn't really look that bad. I've seen a lot of fighters look a lot worse. If you had looked at the fights that were just happened this weekend, I couldn't see what was the issue.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And how did you get over that?
It was ridiculous. So it's like it's weird. That was a weird one, right? So number one, the doctor that was on that night was his first night on the job. So that shouldn't have happened, right? And we found this out after the fight. He was an inexperienced doctor. He's never been at an MMA event before. He was a doctor, not an MMA doctor, not a fight doctor. He doesn't know fight. He seen the cut, he waved it off real quick, didn't even double check, didn't even put a torch in my eye, didn't really check it. He had a quick look, waved it off, and I was like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm not even cut, I'm not even bleeding. Blood wasn't even coming out of my eye. So it's like, it was just a weird one. In fact, if you watch the Josh Plant fight, that cut was far worse. I'm talking
way worse.
My eye was open, blood was pouring out of me, and they let that continue on. It was just one of them things where it was completely out of my control, because I remember going back to me, still sat down, and I looked over. He was exhausted. I was tired, but he was exhausted because he tried to finish me and he gassed out. And John said it to me. He goes, "Okay, you have this now." He had his round. Now his foot is off the pedal now, and now we win this back. And I was like, right, cool, I got this now. He had his good 2 minutes in the fight. Now it's my fight now. And that's why I was adamant to get up and go win that round. I was gonna change the game plan a little bit and try to clinch him and take him down and make him more tired. But again, it was just one of those things, man. And I don't believe to this day, I don't believe that's a win for him. You know, I believe that the doctor stopped that fight from happening. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to him beating me in a fight. And if that was a fight in the street and we just had to keep going, and I know I wouldn't have stopped. I know I wouldn't have stopped at all. Cut or no cut, I don't care. I wouldn't stop. So it just hasn't sit well with me, to be honest, since that night. It's heartbreaking that it's a loss. It should have been either a no contest or just the doctor should have just kept it going. I hate all this stopping the fight real quick. You know, it should be my choice, really. It's my body. It's my. If I say yes, then it should be a yes. You know what I mean? That's just me. But whatever, you know.
But then you can jump over and you can watch the Josh Plant fight, which was a fucking scrap and a half. He wobbled you wobbled him, blood on both sides. I don't know how the hell he survived all those elbows, mate. And I'll tell you what, it was just one of my favourite fights. So does that kind of override the shitty ones?
Yeah, well, to me, winning is everything, do you know what I mean? So getting your hand raised is literally everything, no matter how you do it, you know, whether it's a fucking stoppage, a decision, a split decision, I don't care. Once I win, it's everything to me. So losing that fight was a real kick in the teeth, you know what I mean? It was hard to lose that fight. It was like, I wasn't ready to stop fighting, you know, I was up, I was bouncing, I was ready to go, and like, you know, it wasn't, you said it, you couldn't even see the cut. It wasn't like, it was really bad. It wasn't that bad.
No, I paused the TV even and got close, and I was like, what the fuck?
How many fights have you seen where the cuts are like fucking hell and they keep it going? Like if you even look at Joanna and Ye Ling's first fight, and you see her head, how did they let that keep going? And she's okay, but you know, shit like that, it just bothers me. But look, fuck it, you get over it and you move on and whatever, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
So I'm sure you watched the fights that just happened on the weekend. One of the most kick-ass cards I've seen. It just enforces why I love this sport so much. I think it tied record with the most KOs and TKOs and most first-round finishes in UFC history. Ricardo Lamos, he put that elbow into the soft part of the temple. I thought that should have been knockout of the night. When you see those things, are you standing up in front of the TV thinking, fuck, I want to get in there? And is the UFC still your main goal, brother?
Yeah, I definitely don't stand up in front of the TV. That's probably what you're like, Mark. But yeah, no, I do. I definitely get excited because I'm fighting soon. I'm like, wow, that was fucking. It was a lovely knockout. You know what I mean? Nice, and it's. I'm first of all, I'm a fan of martial. You know, I love watching good, high-level combat sports across the board, whatever it is. You know, especially MMA. And when you see a technique like that working at such a high level, it's a pleasure to see, and it's such a fucking. You know, I love seeing that. You know what I mean? It just hits different. It's like, oh, that was beautiful. Like the way he fainted low. Your man dropped his hand, spinning elbow, and then he recognized he was out, and then it was like boom, 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 3-4 shots, and he was out again. It was beautiful martial art. It really, really was. And you know, if people look at it and go, okay, wow, what a knockout. But I look at it like, what a feint with the timing of it, the confidence that he threw it at, and it's not his first spinning elbow as well. He's done this a few times, so he's a specialist at spinning elbows. So it's his move. Do you know what I mean? So it's nice to see someone doing it how he set it up. So yeah, it was a cracker. Yeah, but yeah, the UFC is 1,000,000% the goal, man. I can't get to my deathbed, Marcus. Yeah. and be happy unless I have wore those UFC gloves, wrapped that tricolour around me neck, and marched into that octagon. Exactly.
So, have you tried this?
Ah, yeah, man. Best in the game, title sport, man. Do you know what? Actually, I tried it last summer. So last summer, they sent me a good bit of it, man. I was fucking whacking around me. Hey, it's actually 10 out of 10, yeah? 10 out of 10. That's the shit right there. I've had a bad back in the past. I've had a lot of spasms and stuff, muscular issues. And, man, I swear to God, like, that's the best thing I've used in terms of recovery-based stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, putting it on your skin and feeling the benefits immediately, yeah? So fair play to Conor. He's the fucking man, yeah. He knows his shit. I can give him that, man. He knows his shit, and that's the best in the business, yeah.
How the hell can someone heal from a broken leg like that so quickly? And I saw some footage of him kicking the bag the other day, and I was thinking, Jesus H Christ, how do you do it that quickly? Is he got some kind of superpower? What's his superpower, Kiefer?
His mind is a superpower, and he's Irish. You know what I mean? There you go. He has an Irish mind. He is what I like to call a one of one. You know what I mean? He is one of one. There's no replica of Conor. There's no. People have tried to copy, but they are not Conor. You know what I mean? He is a one of. He's a unique man, and again, being a fighter myself, you know what I mean? It's hard. It's the hardest sport in the world. There is no close second. This is the hardest sport in the world. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what you can give me all the fucking statistics and whatever you want. A man fighting another man in a cage with a limited rule set, you know, that's the closest thing you're going to get to death in terms of real fighting. And how he goes out there and just like touches people and they just go asleep. It's mental. And the people he's done it to, it's again, people seem to forget a little bit. That man is an antichrist when he's fighting. You know what I mean? He's a real fighter, and yeah, he's a one of one. So it's a pleasure to fucking, you know, it's a pleasure to be his mate, obviously. But like just looking at him, man, it's a fucking, how he does it is beyond me. I've tried to bleed and knock people out with one punch every fight, and it's hard. It's hard to do. You know what I mean? He's a sicko, yeah. He's just unbelievable, and yeah, he's such an inspiration to all the Irish, yeah.
Well, I think he's such an inspiration to a lot of people around the world, whether they're Irish or not, but especially the Irish. And you know, mate, I've had so many of your team members on the podcast. I've had Sergey, I've had Coach Owen Roddy, of course, I've had Peter Quealy and Artem, and you know, I just the way that. There's a different thing about the Irish. The sense of humour and the personality, it's just different. You either get it or you don't, and I get it. My grandfather was a bottle maker in Ringsend. He made all the bottles for Coke or whatever it is throughout the whole of Ireland. So I have family from Drimnagh and also family from Sandymount, both ends of the scale. So it's always a pleasure to talk to people that have my heritage and especially because I get the chance to speak with you guys. And it's such a pleasure and an honour for me to sit down, even if it's only for 20 minutes. Mate, I'd like to close up on just saying this. If there's somebody out there that may need a little bit of a boost, maybe a little fire under their ass, whether it be a comment, a word or a saying, paragraph even. Is there something you could say to someone that might help them get a bit of fire under their ass?
Again, man, fire under the ass, it comes from within, do you know what I mean? It doesn't come from anyone else, you know. Don't be looking for it out there. Stop looking for it. Stop trying to seek it from anyone else or on Instagram or fucking quotes or people or celebrities or anything like that. It comes from within, do you know what I mean? Just figure out what you want to do with your life. Wake up, make a plan and go for it. And even if it seems mental in your head that like, I would never be able to do it anyway, do you know what I mean? Go for it. Fucking go for it as hard as you can. And when you show up to whether it's a gym or whatever, just fucking work harder than everybody there. And tell them, look them in the eye and work harder than them. And then do it the next day and do it the next day. And keep doing it until you are where you are. And then when you get to where you are, do it again and keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? And don't ever be complacent. Don't ever be happy with the end result. Just keep fucking going. And give it 5 years, give it 10 years, and you look back and you'll say to yourself, fuck, I've come so far. And even if you fail, I guarantee it, you will be far, far, far further along than most. You know what I mean? And that's the one bit of advice that I'd give anyone, especially in the fight game. Fighting is very easy to quit. I've been in this 20 years now, yeah, in martial arts. I've seen so many people coming into the gym and fucking saying they're going to be this and they're going to be that and they're going to be the next big thing. And you don't see them people after 4 months, 5 months. They quit, they give up. And I understand that. I get it. I get it. I fully understand. It's hard. It's hard to do. It's a horrible sport. It's hard to sustain this lifestyle. But it's the ones that keep going. It's the ones that keep going. They're stubborn. They're like not taking no for an answer. They don't care how hard it is. They don't care if they lost 5 fights in a row. They're going to keep going. And they're the ones that will make it to the top. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. And if you can take that and you know, apply it to any part of your life, just keep going. Just literally keep going. Be stubborn. Just don't take no for an answer. Keep going, and eventually you'll be the best. I think so anyway. So yeah, that's my advice.
I fucking love it, and I'll take every single word and I'll apply it. Listen, brother, I've been wanting to talk to you since I started this podcast about a year ago. I'm finally glad that it got to happen. I can guarantee you, and you can guarantee yourself, the UFC is just there. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of the date. You will be there, and I believe that you're going to be hugely successful in that organization because you've got that little niche that a lot of people don't have, and people love you, brother. Thanks so much for coming on the show. I'll look forward to meeting you in person one day.
Before you go, yeah, I'll give you a laugh. Yes, this is funny. So here's a story for you, yeah, and you obviously don't remember this. So when was it? 2015, 16? Maybe it was Conor versus Nate Diaz 1. Maybe. Or maybe it was Aldo. Maybe it was the Aldo fight. I can't remember, yeah. I was at Conor's after party. We were in maybe it was the Encore. I can't even remember where it was. Anyways, I was walking to the toilet, yeah. And I look over and there's some madman, right? I was like, I had to look again. I was like, that Conor? Walking around, belt over the shoulder, sunglasses and all. I was walking by and me, mate. I was like, what? I started laughing. I was like, what's up? And you walked straight up to me, went head to head, and screamed in my face, "Era!" I pushed you back on my head, and I was gonna knock you clean out, man. I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill this bloke. And everyone jumped in, everyone like separated us and the whole lot. The security came over and you just stormed off, "Era!" screaming. And I was like, fucking kill him. And I walked off anyways, and then I went back to the section. I was like, who the fuck is he? And everyone was telling me, man, he goes around Vegas, he looks like Conor. And I was like, man, I was literally about to knock you clean out. And here we are now, podcast.
That is literally the best fucking thing I have heard all year. My God, I do not remember that. And trust me, I got into many scraps when I was doing that nonsense because I was always fucking hammered when I was doing it. Oh, Jesus. Well, I apologize.
That is funny. Man. That's a true story. I swear, man, you went head to head and I just pushed you back on my head and I was like, I'm going to knock him clean out. And then you just ran off. I was like, what the fuck?
I am so glad you waited until now to tell me this story, my friend, because it just enforces how...
I have something to say to you. I texted you. I was like, I have something to say to you. You texted me and I was like, yeah, when you hear this one for a cracker. All the
that's
people,
right.
You are this close, Marcus. Yeah, you are this close,
brother. It would have been an honor to get knocked out by you. I swear to God. Oh, mate, what a story. Fucking hell. Hey, listen, Kiefer, you're a fucking legend, mate. Best of luck for 12 days, and I'll look forward to talking to you again, my friend.
Thanks, bro. Keep everything up, man. All right. Good to speak to you, my man. Thanks very much.
Good to speak to you. Thanks so much, pal. All right. Bye, brother.
Bro. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, mate.
The Marcus Deegan Show.